Hello, I'm Stephen Hill with JustMyPicks.com. This is my Week 3 NFL matchups that we have coming up for the Week 3 in the NFL. I want to start in Washington, where the Washington Redskins are 2-0. I like the Washington Redskins, I really do. They're one of my dark horses, along with the Detroit Lions, to make the playoffs. Now, the question is, can Rex Grossman lead this team into Dallas and beat the Cowboys that squeaked out a win in San Francisco last week? Last week, the San Francisco 49ers gave the Dallas Cowboys all they could handle, but just came up just a little bit too short for me. I like the Washington Redskins in Dallas to sneak a win out in Dallas. Rex Grossman has become the leader for the Washington Redskins, not only on the field but off the field. Tony Romo did show that he had heart last week and came back in the win and gave them a couple of good series after he had hurt his rib. Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears came out and had a loss last week. Brian Urlacher also lost his mother, so that I don't know if his head was fully in the game. I wouldn't expect it to be for the Chicago Bears, but this is a new week. He maybe have some time to refresh himself, and the Green Bay Packers should watch out. This is a trap game because the Chicago Bears defense is vaunting, and it has so many weapons on that defense that they can strike at any time on defense or on offense. Jay Cutler, he was frustrated last week. He was hit a lot last week by the New Orleans Saints, so I think that he has what it takes to bounce back and have a great game. I predict that the Chicago Bears will win this game at Soldier Field in Chicago. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both these teams came back in the fourth quarter to win their football game. The Atlanta Falcons came back and beat the Philadelphia Eagles without Mike Vick in the fourth quarter. Vick got hurt in the fourth quarter. If you didn't watch, Michael Vick was hurt when he got hit by one of his own teammates from the whiplash, from the spinning sack. Tampa Bay, I'm not really impressed by them. They have a run game in LeGarrette Blount, but they start too slow. It always seems like their game is too slow. They can't never break away and get out to the strong lead and hold a strong lead. My pick for this is a close game, but the Atlanta Falcons will come out on top in the end. What separates them is their run game and their defense, their cornerback play that the Falcons have. Next up, we have Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. The Arizona Cardinals last week played very sloppy, and the Seattle Seahawks did as well. The Seahawks laid a goose egg, and what ended up happening was they look on offense to look horrible. The defense, they're not giving them no help whatsoever. They're continuously turning the ball over, punting the ball. I like Arizona big in this game. Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Diego Chargers. To me, the Kansas City Chiefs are a lottery draft team this year. They lost Jamal Charles. They lost their identity on offense. They don't know whether they want to run the ball. They don't know whether they want to throw the ball. It's becoming clear and clear and clear. They may need a new coaching change. The players look like they don't respond to the coaching staff. It's one thing after another. The Chargers will win big in this game and bounce back from the loss to the Patriots. Philip Rivers needs to step up, and he needs to take his team by the horns because they are a Super Bowl contender, and that window is closing for him. The defense and the offense are running at a high power, but they have to show up at the beginning of every game and play a full 60-minute game. It hurts the Chargers when they start out slow and have to play catch-up constantly. In our next game, we have the New York Jets at the Oakland Raiders. At the Black Hole, the Jets. This game scares me because it's a trap game for the Jets because they can be looking ahead to their Week 5 matchup with the Patriots. What I want to see from them, the Jets, is I want to see good defense. I want to see good offense. I want to see the fluid offense that they had versus the Cowboys. And what I also want to see from the Raiders, I want to see that pass offense. Jason Campbell passed for over 300 yards last week in that loss versus the Bills. No turnovers from Jason Campbell. That's what they need to go along with that run game with McFadden, and they can be successful, but not this week. I got the Oakland Raiders winning big in the Black Hole. Next, we have Baltimore at St. Louis. St. Louis Rams, maybe they will have Steven Jackson back. That would make a big difference. Baltimore is a mad hornet's nest after losing to Tennessee last week. Tennessee handed them their first defeat of the year last week. Chris Johnson was not a main factor, but Kenny Britt exposed some of those holes on the cornerback position. They need to bounce back big and control the line of scrimmage throughout the whole game. The next week's game is Detroit at the Minnesota Vikings. The Detroit Lions are here. They are serious. They're hungry. And Ndamukong Suh has that defense playing at a high level. The Minnesota Vikings, I don't know if they're going to be able to stop it. I don't know if they'll be able to contain it, but I know they have Adrian Peterson. That's the only hope they have of winning this game, is playing Adrian Peterson, heavy run game, getting 8 in the box and doing play action. Donovan McNabb, he wasn't the reason for them losing last week, but he needs to step up and produce more, keep the offense on the field more so that defense can rest. The defense may be on this last leg as far as the players that they have there, but the Detroit Lions, they have too much offense. They have Megatron on offense, Calvin Johnson, who leads the NFL in receiving touchdowns thus far. So I think that right now, the Detroit Lions have the recipe to be the sleeper to make a wild card or either win their division. In the NFC North, the Denver Broncos are coming off a bounce-back win versus the Cincinnati Bengals last week. The Tennessee Titans are coming off that big win that they had versus the Baltimore Ravens. In that game, the Titans made a big statement, like I told you earlier, versus the Ravens with Kenny Britt. The passing game was so fluid that they were exposing holes on the Ravens' defense left and right. The Denver Broncos, they need to find their identity. They don't know who they want at quarterback because the fans want Tebow, the coaching staff wants Orton, Brady Quinn's in the middle of it. It's just a big mess. But what I liked last week was the defense of the Denver Broncos stepping up. In this game, I really have the Tennessee Titans pulling away early, making it a track meet. CJ will get a couple more carries. Chris Johnson will get a couple more carries in the game, and he'll blow it open and get his gear started back up. The San Francisco 49ers at the Cincinnati Bengals. I like San Francisco in this game for 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only. Defense and the run game. Frank Gore, if they get him going on the ground, it's going to be a headache all day for the Cincinnati Bengals because they can't tackle. And the defense, Patrick Willis is stepping into his own to become one of the premier linebackers and be the leading tackler for this team, continuously making plays, continuously. I like the San Francisco 49ers in a low-scoring game here where both these teams don't really have an offense. So I look for the defense of the San Francisco 49ers to bring them out. Miami at Cleveland. I look for Miami to win this game big. Yes, the Cleveland Browns pulled to 1-1 with a beat of the Indianapolis Colts, but Miami Dolphins have too many weapons. They have Reggie Bush. They have the beast, Brandon Marshall. They have the line. They have Jake Long on that line. They can basically take this game by the horns and reset their season. They're only 0-1 right now, so they can do some things differently to bring that back. But the Miami Dolphins are who I am picking to be the team that wins this, and I think that they'll win pretty handily. They'll win easily. So I'm picking the Miami Dolphins to win there. The new-look Buffalo Bills are having company this week by the New England Patriots. One of these teams are going to go to the top of the AFC East, and one is going to get their first loss. I saw the game versus the Buffalo Bills Oakland Raiders. They squeaked out a win, Buffalo did, but I don't think it's enough to beat Tom Brady in this New England offense. The offense is looking like a well-oiled machine. They're looking like nobody can stop them right now because they're not hitting Tom Brady. If they start to get Tom Brady dirty, hit him constantly, knock him down, knock him off his rhythm, that offense won't look and sing. The defense is what separates the Bills from the New England Patriots because the defense, if they can get pressure, whoever pressures who first, that's who you're going to see who's going to lose this game. But at the end of the day, I believe that the New England Patriots will go to 3-0, and the Buffalo Bills will go to 2-1. Jacksonville Jaguars look to bounce back after a really humiliating loss at the hands of the New York Jets last week, only scoring 3 points versus the new-look Panthers with Cam Newton, Rookie of the Year, my candidate for Rookie of the Year. Cam Newton is doing so many things so good. This is his second week throwing for more than 400 yards. No rookie has ever done that. He's got a bit of a turnover issue in his second game, but they are playing the defending world champions when he did that, so I don't expect him to play perfect. But he, Steve Smith, D'Angelo Williams, that's becoming a nice little group, and that will be a solid group for the future. I predict that Cam Newton will work his magic for 4 more 100 yards, plus probably 100 yards rushing versus this Jacksonville Jaguars team that is going nowhere fast. Next game, we have the New Orleans Saints bouncing back in a big win versus Chicago Bears versus the Houston Texans. The Saints are back, but I don't think that they're going to be back in time to beat the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are well improved on defense. Demario Williams is now playing linebacker. Now you have D'Amico Ryans on one side, Demario Williams on the other side. The pass rushing for the Texans is going to be key because you have to get Drew Brees in that huddle. You have to move him in and out of that huddle to get his feet unsolid and get him unsolid on his throws. The New Orleans Saints are all about timing on their plays. They have the athletes and the playmakers to keep up with the Saints on defense, and they also have a high-powered offense with Jacoby Jones, Matt Schwab, and Andre Johnson to go along with it on offense. And my final game of the week, the New York Giants visit the first game of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles at home. The Eagles lost last week, I thought, in part because Michael Vick got hurt in that Falcons game. If Mike Vick doesn't go down in that Falcons game, we're looking at a 2-0 team in Philadelphia. The team rallied around the rookie, but it was just too late. The defense of Trent Cole was huge in that Falcons game. He disrupted. Nnamdi Asomugha came off with a pick. So did Asante Samuel last week. This defense is coming into its own. I don't think the Giants can do anything to stop it. I think the Giants can hold them off the field a little bit with that run attack that they have with Brandon Jacobs. But I don't think that they can stop anything that they're doing. Pretty much, I see this as a statement game, an NFC East statement game. And I see the Philadelphia Eagles coming out on top, coming back, proving that they're not a one-hit wonder. And I see that them overtaking the Giants pretty easily. I see this thing to be over by the third quarter in a really big game. And Michael Vick probably makes a huge statement yet again, because last week versus the Falcons, he came back and made a huge statement, but he just got hurt. If Vick stays healthy during the season, the Eagles are stamp it, book it, champion. But if not, it's gonna be problems. So they have to either get Vince Young ready to go, they have to get the rookie ready to go, and they have to have Mike Vick ready in case he gets hurt. So that's my predictions for this week. This has been a Week 3 NFL matchup. I'm Steven here for JustMyPicks.com. Thank you for watching.